was changed quite a while ago now. That took some of the power out of Power of Dream and Sevka over on the other side where they want to be that aggressive team. It's slower for them, so beGenius can slow down the pace and get it on their terms.
Gotta agree with you. So here we are into the draft. Synergy will be the first ban. Got a question if we're gonna be seeing the Tassadar ban happening throughout these guys. Ooh, Synergy immediately moving into a Zeratul ban.
All right, so really kind of wanting to alleviate some of that unknown pressure, the potential of him just being able to roam around, get some good combos. Tannis is going to be banned out. Now we see Hydra a lot on the other side in Team Synergy, actually playing him a lot. And whoa, calm down, boys. All right, chill out. Tassadar gets locked in. They are fast.
This is the fastest move of chess I've ever seen. Everyone's done the 3 moves right away. So let's just go ahead and go this real quick. beGenius banning out Artanis. Synergy has been running a lot of Artanis. As you mentioned, Hydra can be very strong on it.
You know what this makes me think? Protoss OP.
Protoss OP, just like that. All 3 members taken here. Full StarCraft lineup in the first 3 slots. Back on Tassadar. Tassadar is a fantastic hero. Especially now, because he has 2 things that he does very well as a support. One, he can hold a lane if he needs to. Dimensional Shift Escape, he has his Psionic Storm in the middle so he can clear waves, but he's amazing in lanes that has an auto-attacker because you can trade all day, especially if you have a Malfurion on your team. So beGenius, I'm looking at them, I want to know if they're in their first 2 slots here, if they take away Malfurion, because if not, Synergy could take it. Yeah,
they definitely could. So let's see where they're going to go down. For other things for beGenius, you know, Danatan is mostly their tank player, and they're going to pick up Tychus and Ragnaros. That's almost all the damage they need behind any kind of frontline, and that is powerful. Oh, well, we know where this comp's going. The trifecta.
Okay. Synergy really embodying this whole aggressive thing. And the thing is, like, they are picking their heroes quick here. They know the path they want to go. They know that they want the aggressive stature here. Do they want to move into maybe a Tyrael Raider in their 4th and 5th pick to really bolster this dive comp they're building out? Because right now, Illidan's sitting pretty. He's got Tassadar, he's got Rhaegar, he's got these supports that can just really keep him alive. Whereas beGenius over here has the meta standard of Tychus Ragnaros.
Yeah, this draft so far says to me that Synergy is old school, like truly old school. We saw them so long ago, the majority of their members on Virtus Pro, they've carried through that kind of very old mentality of Heroes of the Storm and are going to stick with the good, tried and tested, but does it hold up against things like Ragnaros is the big question.
We will see here. Arthas being banned out for Synergy. Now we do know that Danatan, if he has the chance, if he can get Arthas, he will take that hero. And with Arthas being a strong counter to Illidan just because of Remorseless Winter and the ability to really slow down his target, it can be a great ban in this scenario, so Synergy makes sense. Vala ban is interesting to me. It feels like that may have not been the full path that we see 4th and 5th hero for Synergy. In fact, I think Vala would have been better here for beGenius to get if they wanted to go for maybe more of a double range with Ragnaros being in that front line, but we'll see how it goes.
I think for Danatan, I'm leaning towards Johanna or ETC coming into these next 2 picks. Seems like he's been favoring that little push a little more. He's been favoring Johanna, I would say, more so than people in other locations, but ETC will be that choice, and Brightwing for that lovely global.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that he may have wanted to go into Johanna, but with the Illidan being on Synergy's side, if Illidan gets past Johanna, it's very hard for her to catch up and get in that back line and save everyone. ETC gives him a little bit more tools here, especially with that block party being available at level 1. Brightwing also great with the polymorph. So overall, they got their counters against Illidan. If their Ragnaros and Tychus can hold their posture in team fights, they should be fine. Li Ming and Murden. Li Ming makes sense here. Illidan and Li Ming together can get those resets, start rolling, and start getting the fight and running the momentum.
I wonder what this last thing is going to be. I think it's for Curva, and it's something to like a Jaina or something like that, or maybe a Sylvanas for a silence later on down the line to kind of disable Illidan. I think they need a little bit more flex. It might be a crazy pick off the back of that, trying to deal with an Illidan. I wouldn't even mind a Lili, I'll be honest, but I don't know if they go down that path.
Lili could work. I want either more durability or, yes, the blinds could be good. Lili, Water Dragon been awesome here. Something I actually wouldn't. I know Sonya has fallen so far in the meta. Sonya against an Illidan. If you want to go back to old school days, that was a matchup that you were fearful of. Tychus, Sonya into Illidan could be a thing, but there is Lili. Yes, so now we get damage Lili with blind durations and Water Dragon. Perfect counter here to the Illidan dive comp.
I love it. I really, really like it. We've seen in Europe, this has come out time and time again as the Lili against that Illidan, and the blind is strong. They've got Polymorph, they've got Power Slide, they've got a lot of damage behind this as well. And think, if a power slide hits, if Sulfura Smash follows that up, our Illidan is going to be a squashed Illidan, my friend.
Yes, yes, he will. And when you look at this draft right away, now with the last couple of picks by beGenius, it turns into a scenario where Li Ming has to go off. Li Ming needs to be the one getting the damage out. Illidan's not going to be the diver anymore. He's going to be poking around, trying to find people to get out of position. He may use his sweeping strike to get away from a fight, pull someone around. Li Ming comes in with the orb, and then once something gets chunked, that's when Illidan and Muradin go in. But we're going to have to watch the Li Ming player in particular on this map because of how the team comps have kind of unfolded.
Is that our first Lili throughout the tournament?
That is our first Lili throughout the entire tournament. So we'll see how she will do. Maybe she'll have a 100% win record. Let us know what you guys think of the Lili, the Illidan, the Li Ming picks at HGC. Make sure to use the wonderful hashtag HGC and tweet us, and we'll read them later on live on air. So, Kalaris, I want to know your thoughts. This has been a awesome draft to start the day out with. It seems like Europe just loves to come out and just show us crazy things. What do you think?
I think Europe itself, as an entity, wouldn't let me live it down if I didn't go with Lili. They're still waiting for that Lili cosplay. Maybe one day. But it seems like a lot of effort. Maybe I'll get our makeup ladies to do it at some point.
Just get some ears and you're good to go. That's all you got to do. A little Shadow Paw bandana up there would look wonderful on you.
Thank you.
Again, just real quick for our viewers at home, Water Dragon is the go-to here, it seems like, especially with Muradin having heavy impact at 16. Could stun out that channel of Jug of 1,000 Cups. So Water Dragon, damage, blind duration seems like the real path to victory for this Lili player.
Yeah, I would like to see it. It causes so many problems at the front. And what I normally see from Water Dragon is you will see an Illidan go far forwards, Water Dragon will be activated, and then normally a Muradin will try and jump in to tank that Water Dragon, which then leaves him in quite a susceptible and awkward position. So if you could actually bait out a Muradin to have to go too far forwards, it's Muradin, so normally he survives quite a while. But if you bait him to go too far forward, or even have to use his Dwarf Toss to soak up the Water Dragon instead of the Illidan, then it leaves him in a bad spot and he dies. Yeah. So that could definitely be a factor here.
Another element to add on top of that, too, is that it can force a metamorphosis. If there is not the Muradin there, you can use the invincibility frames, but that's a metamorphosis not used at a key moment, which allows for you to set up stuns later. It looks like the game is ready to go. Let's start it off. beGenius taking on Synergy. Game 1 on Cursed Hollow.
Excited for this one, Trixler. To start off day number 2, heroic times here for the HGC. To the left-hand side, we have beGenius with Danatan playing ETC. We have Kirova going to be playing Tychus. We have Tank for the Win playing Ragnaros. And then Unstable will be playing Brightwing. And the last one was Adakeen on Lili.
On the far right here for Team Synergy, our Russian powerhouses, Sir Ice Cream. That is definitely Sir Ice Cream.
Oh, yes.
Neon, Power, Hydra, and Sefka, the support player. Sefka is just a talented player in general. He's played many roles in the last year and a half that he has been playing Heroes of the Storm, and he has realized for this team, he is the captain and he is the support, and he has transitioned to this role so well. He just fits perfectly here, especially with Hydra, who is going to be the main star, it feels like, in this game.
And before we do anything in this game, let me just say it. Sir Ice Cream. Oh, I've never said it on broadcast before, so I needed to get it out. It's a beautiful name.
Properly said there by Kalaris. So, our keys to the game. What do our teams have to do to actually achieve victory in this matchup? When you look at beGenius, I feel like they just need to stay comfortable and safe picks. They know they've beaten Synergy before in the past. We've seen it in the qualifiers. So if they can just play their game, stay up to par, and deal with the aggressive tendencies of Synergy, they'll be good to go.
And most of the time that can be hard going up against like Team Synergy, because they will try and press the issue on you, as is applicable here with the current comp they have.
Yes, they are pushing down that bottom lane, having Rhaegar to support Hydra there with the evasion being available. You can take a few of those ammo shots, and you are good to go. In the middle lane, what do we have happening here? It looks like we have Power just trying to push out this area. Both supports have moved down. They do realize that Lili needs to be matching against that Illidan, especially when they're playing so aggressive into the tower. So we will now have Lili rotating the bottom left lane, but it may be a little too late here as one turret has been taken out, a second one already low on ammo.
Yeah, Ragnaros is going to have a hard time against a Rhaegar in Illidan lane, so it's nice that Arakeen has come down to help out for sure. And then on the other side of things, it looks like, you know, Synergy's not doing too bad with their lane setup at all, and that was actually quite a bit of damage going on towards the bottom. Illidan took a big chunk there. He'll be fine, though, as Kirova and Danatan up towards the top, just stalling out this Tassadar Lili. So the double support, the Tassadar and the Rhaegar, really make these lanes super stable here at the moment for Team Synergy.
Yeah, they really do. Just having this Tassadar to keep Gleaming from any danger. If we ever do have an ETC time to engage, you drop a shield and you're good to go. Neon's main goal here is just to keep sieging away on those turrets. And you can see where the experience lead is hitting for this team. 4-3 right now. Synergy 4.5, almost level 5. Now we hit the 2-minute mark where teams run to their Giants to try and get pressure here. We'll see who will win the RNG here on the first actual tribute spawning.
Yeah.
If it spawns on the top, Synergy be in a great spot. If it spawns at the bottom, beGenius will be loving that.
I mean, even just the trade alone of having to go to the easy camps, Synergy had a better composition because they have Illidan to actually do the easy camp compared to what we're seeing from beGenius. So they had to give up 2 people to do the easy camp, and that meant that they actually lost a little bit of the towers or a little bit extra tower damage up in one of those lanes. So it does hurt beGenius there for the moment, as Synergy has taken a little bit of an experience lead.
They sure have, level 6 here, and now the tribute will spawn on the bottom left, and this is good for beGenius. This will help alleviate some of the pressure they have in their bottom and their top lane, as the Giants for them are already pushing in the top lane. This makes Li Ming and Tassadar hang around for a little bit longer so they can clear it off. So this is where Synergy makes a decision to either A, ignore this tribute, or B, wait for Li Ming and Tassadar to show up.
And for Lili, level 4 is what it's all about. Sometimes you see a little bit of a difference in some of these builds, but that Mass Vortex that we're seeing at level 4 here for Lili means she can blind more people. So more chance of blinding Illidan, more chance of denying the damage from coming out.
What do you think about blinding more people there over the actual extra duration? I like the extra duration against Illidan.
On the little... Oh, okay.
Oh,
no, I get you.
Yeah.
I get you. I mean, sometimes I get what you mean, but you have to be very pinpoint about where he is at that particular moment. I think for me personally, I'd rather be just blinding everyone and knowing I'm going to hit Illidan, as opposed to, I think it's 2 seconds extra, is it?
Yeah, it's 2 extra seconds.
Right. So
it feels like it can be impactful if you do land on an Illidan, but the risk is a little bit higher. Here is a risky play, though, for all of beGenius as Tank for the win. A little out of position here. Ragnaros trying to stay alive, but he's not able to stay out, even with the Empower Sulfuris. But Illidan doing flips and dying. That will be a 1-for-1 trade.
That's kind of exactly what we wanted to see from Synergy, getting in the face of their opponent. But beGenius, with the rotation down to help out, was comfortable enough to take a 1-for-1 trade in the end. And now, because they've got 2, I would say, standard supports, they have so much healing power behind that I don't know if Synergy wins this 4v4 right now.
Yeah, it all comes down to Li Ming poke, and maybe if Power gets a good engage on one of the squishies here. But the only squishy that you could really hit and maybe eliminate with Li Ming is Brightwing. And she's already left the lane. Lili's pretty good to go. She has fast feet, can dodge the skill shots pretty well. And Tychus, he's a little robust himself. They have to wait for Illidan to come down if they actually do want to contest this. Instead, it becomes a poke war. And the poke war continues. Neon being a tad bit aggressive here on the top left, but Erikine oversteps his bounds as Lili and is going to be taken out. Now with the Molten Core be popped up, this will slow it down a tad bit, but 15 seconds with no Lili could be the time here for Synergy to finally get the tribute.
Yeah, they're looking to just buy as much time as possible so Lili can respawn and get back in, but Danatan goes a bit too far during all of that. That means this tribute should be going over to Team Synergy. Now what's important is that as soon as Brightwing's teleport came off cooldown, she left that fight entirely. And I think, you know, if they hadn't lost the Lili, if they hadn't lost the ETC, they could have stalled that out, got an experience advantage themselves, and then had Brightwing come back in. But it was not to be. Danatan and Arakan going a bit far.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they lost the tribute there and a couple of members, but the Brightwing play that you were mentioning there was probably the most important thing to happen during that entire duration. Yeah. They've actually closed this gap heavily. Remember, they were almost a level and a half ahead here, Synergy, earlier. Now they're only about a half a level ahead, which is great. That helps them get caught up to them to level 10. If they get a pick relatively soon, they'll be even experience.
All right, so Dantan soaking up some of that damage. It's actually better for ETC to be taking that damage there from Li Ming than the tower, if you can soak it up and have good amounts of health. And now, looks like Murden in a bit of trouble, but Sevka and Power Dream, by the way, almost lifelong buddies at this point when it comes to Heroes of the Storm. They have been by each other's side for months and months and months when it comes to being in teams. So there's very good synergy between those two. No pun intended, damn.
Synergy is now hitting level 10, and they are up a tad bit over beGenius. beGenius should be able to get 10 here before the third tribute spawns. The second one, though, is in danger of being taken away, and Synergy being up 2-3 on their tribute pickups. Danatan now having to escape here. Power slides away, and all of Synergy moves in on their target, the Tribute, and they will grab it. I do want to go back to the point you were talking about Synergy here, having a little bit of history between each other and having that camaraderie. The same thing is standing true for beGenius.
Yep.
4 of the 5 members, Unstable, the only one there, have actually been together for almost a year, even longer. They understand how they all play and function as a team. In fact, in one of the interviews, it was mentioned by Danatan that he can just link with his teammates.
Yes.
Erikine in particular. They just work it out and they don't have to make callouts.
And the level 10 heroics mean that it's got to this point where Lily is actually taking cups. So
really?
Not Dragon. So the interesting thing about this is that I think they felt the same way that I did, where they probably weren't going to get the Dragon to hit the mark. Meridian will probably tank it up. Take this, get a huge amount of sustain behind your composition, and it's going to be difficult for Synergy to blow someone up during that much healing.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the comp for Synergy, the only one that can really stop Jugs is Murden, but if Lily plays reserved and she's just throwing out her Cloud Serpents, then she should be in a position that if Murden dives in, you can eliminate that Murden. So we'll see how it pays out for them. I wouldn't mind seeing Water Dragon, but overall, when you look at Li Ming, Tassadar, Rhaegar, and Illidan, they have no way to actually stop that, except for maybe the Hunt. But the Metamorphosis did pop up. So the Water makes sense here. Here goes the engage in the top right, though. Danatan chasing in. There is the power slide. The orb does not connect here from Neon, and Tank for the win could be in trouble. But nice Saphira smash.
Oh, he keeps himself alive, though. Metamorphosis, actually, at the very end, he was low on health. I don't think he was taking any more damage anyway, but that was the potential of him dying off. It could have been a completely different story, but look at this. Synergy, they apply pressure. This is a team that will be furiously strong in your face with the boss underneath that fort. Great stuff.
And they grab the curse just as the boss hits the front door of this keep wall. There goes a turret. A second one should be sieged down as well here if Li Ming would like to grab it, especially with the boss being available. The boss is going to possibly do it itself. Can they save the turret? They do save it, actually. Fort, though, in trouble. 13-11. Synergy has now grouped and is keeping full momentum going.
So far, this is quite a big statement here from Synergy if they can continue this kind of momentum, because it can be all too easy to take this kind of advantage and then throw it away. But if they keep this kind of level, this kind of pace up throughout this game, beGenius right now looks a little bit flustered. They're playing a slower game, and they are just not keeping up with Synergy.
Yeah, one of the main things that beGenius needs to do here is find their comfort zone and then try to just rock the momentum that Synergy has. We've seen it in the past. If they lose a member or two in a team fight and they feel like they just don't have a grasp of the game, they just crumble. But right now, Synergy is not given the chance. I love these rotations, this movement. It's been relatively safe, moving from the top down the mid to the bottom. I would argue they could maybe pressure the keep when they were on the top left, but they still grab the fort, they grab the bottom fort, and now they're going aggressive on a boss.
And this is interesting. Danatan is still holding his heroic. He hasn't chosen it yet, unless this is a bug for some reason, but he might have to choose Mosh Pit or Stage Dive in the blinks of an eye here as it goes down, and he will choose Mosh Pit during this, so he realizes it might come into play in some of these little choke points here. Will push these guys away for the moment. They've got themselves to level 13 as well, and Synergy just wrestling against this boss, but keeping beGenius in a place where they don't necessarily want to be. Brightwing would like to be soaking other lanes, but she has to be in the fight all the time.
Li Ming coming on the flank in the back right will hit Tank for the win. Knocking down a core of health. There's a Mosh Pit, but immediately stopped by the wave of force. But Illidan was moving in, went for the Ancestor healing, but it did not actually connect there with Murden, who is low on HP. Illidan, with the Metamorphosis, is going to have to retreat as they don't have their main tank anymore.
Yeah, 1-for-1. Difficult for them to continue fighting there without that Murden. You're totally right on that. And that is going to be them backing off for the moment. This alleviates some of the pressure from beGenius. Brightwing can now go to another lane, start soaking up, trying to catch up in that experience. But I think beGenius achieved what they wanted to achieve, which was don't let them get that boss, because if they did, it could have spiraled.
Yeah, that would have been really painful. And honestly, Synergy, if that Ancestor healing had connected with Murden, could have kept up with that push and taken that boss. So even though they traded Lily for the Murden there, great pick off for them, and you see them at least being coordinated there to get that call there and make sure to secure their takedown. So 14-15 right now. Synergy's lead has been diminished a little bit. They were up about 2 levels earlier, now only 1 level, but still ahead. They will be hitting 16 before their opponents. The good news for beGenius is that there's actually a lot of infrastructure on the opposing side for Synergy because they've been playing so well. So if you take out a fort, you do get a nice experience boost.
And you can see this position being controlled here by beGenius. ETC just trying to make sure that they don't scout out that boss. Now, they must have some inkling that it is going on. Nobody is visible on the map right now by Synergy, but Looks like they are not going to rival this position. They don't want to be too far forwards. They just want their 16. And they know that, as you said, their infrastructure's tight. They've got that fort wall available.
They do. So a boss pushing in the bottom right. Here comes the tribute spawn. Hydra and crew now realizing the boss has been grabbed, move the top left to grab some kind of pressure to maybe put on that keep. But already beGenius is rotated over here to deal with said pressure. They look like they just want to give up the tribute in the bottom right. Realizing Synergy is at 16, it's unsafe to go with a talent tier down. As long as you have keeps, you're still in the game.
Yeah. Well, just even not catching that curse just yet. I think they're trying to bait a little bit of a position out of their opponents. Now they've revealed down towards the bottom lane thanks to those minions. Yeah,
they were trying to get on Brightwing, but Brightwing phase shifted just in time, realizing, you know what, they haven't grabbed the tribute yet. They're not middle lane. I should skedaddle, and skedaddle she did.
That's one of the best things about Heroes of the Storm. If you're a newer player coming in, just keep pay attention to your minimap.
Yeah.
If you don't see them on the map, be more reserved about your positioning. And from that point on, you can save yourself a lot of times.
I would argue 80% of your gameplay should be looking at the minimap. A lot of people miss out on that. 95, you're playing Abathur. You have their players out there sitting in the fountain. Look at that minimap, please. But a boss has been grabbed in the top right corner as they will start sieging upon it. beGenius is aware and do move in, ETC in particular. Now, they just hit 16, so they do have a chance of fighting this. The force wall, though, was nice. A little on the early side, but Danatan can't move in because Ice Cream has the body blocks, and that is going to be a boss to Synergy. Hydra goes for the engage.
Yeah, and he's got in deep there, and it looks like Ragnaros is going to try and lock him down. Metamorphosis gets pop tanked for the win, takes a lot of damage there. Meridian's going to jump straight on in as well. He's susceptible to damage. That was a mosh pit for a moment. Doesn't quite lock down Meridian for as long as possible. Danatan will end up falling. Power of Doom as well as Hydra going to charge on against Arakeen and Unstable there. Right at the front, Polymorph on towards Hydra, but it's going to be too little, too late. Lily falls. That's a 2 for 0 for Synergy.
Synergy keeping up with their traits of being aggressive, taking down Tank as well. We're going to have Neon following up with the aggression here from Li Ming, and Tank gets body blocked in the corner here. Is he going to go down? He's barely staying away here with these Qs. Brightwing doing her best as well, but Unstable finally just cannot stay stable enough to keep Tank for the win alive, and that is going to be a 4th takedown. Only Kirwa here on Tyke's forward defense. Can he hold the pressure, and will Synergy go for more aggression?
The Russians killing off their older brother there in Unstable from a previous roster, and well, they potentially could have finished off the back of that if they'd got those kills a little bit quicker, but overall, I think it's wise to back up. You know, as much as they're an aggressive team, etc. and stuff like that, just look how much look how much they have available. It's so easy for them to sit back and say, we still have a major lead.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, especially with Illidan being taken out. Illidan's the one that enables the go for the core push, but Illidan taken out, just take the safe route, pull away, grab another tribute here. They have 2 out of the 3, 1 more tribute, and they will be rewarded another curse. beGenius all back up on the map here, needs to start getting their lanes cleared out and start getting pressure on the lane in some way or some form. The next thing that you need to worry about is, do you get into a team fight, or do you let Synergy continue to control the map and get to 20?
I mean, we can take a little bit more of a look over some of those moments there again here as Synergy is just pushing through the middle. You can see here that Hydra, very actively aggressive, but knows exactly when to dodge some of those skill shots with that Metamorphosis, and even though the mosh pit goes off, instantly interrupted.
Wave of force, man.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
Pretty strong in the meanwhile during this entire push. The reason why they went for that aggression is because they got the boss, and they had the boss pushing the top lane the entire time. If they get 1 or 2 kills, they suddenly have a win condition on the court.
Yeah.
So great calculated play by Synergy. This team just knows when to be aggressive because they practice aggression all the time, and that was textbook play. Well done by them. Here we are, though, back into the late game. beGenius 17-18. Synergy slightly in the lead, just grabbing mercenary camps when they can to keep up all pressure, because that vision is very important, especially against a team that's hungry for a comeback.
Hard camp gets melted here by Synergy as they are just sticking together, and what better way here to hold on to that lead that you've got. Because, again, Brightwing, yes, is actually defending and soaking, but here comes the fight once again. We're going to need Brightwing in here very, very quickly. They will back off for a moment. That was a good little combination of skill shots by Team beGenius, and stabilizes for the moment.
Both wars will occur here. Now, remember, the longer this draws out, the better for Synergy. They have 1 catapult pushing in the top left lane, moving towards that keep. Hydra moves in. There was a stun. The cleanse comes out. Hydra metas the Sulfurous Smash there. Kira in trouble in the back right, trying to apply any auto attacks to Murden to get him low on HP. Neon from the right, though, is just sieging away.
They've expended a lot to deal with Hydra, but they're going to try and go for the mosh pit.
The Ancestral
Neutral catches him as well, though, so he stays alive. That mosh pit was their one-ditch effort to try and shut down this Illidan right there, and it did not succeed. They're going to try and kill him off, but it doesn't work out, as Ragnaros will end up falling as a lot of the damage gone. Lili goes down at the same time as Muradin. The front line is gone, but Illidan is more than enough to deal with this trick.
Hydra is just not done. Unstable falls, and the last member for beGenius is here. His name is Kirwa, and he's trying to escape, but Illidan says, no, you have been betrayed by your own feet. He will push forward and move for the core. All 5 members wipe for beGenius. Synergy is going to take game number 1.
Illidan does what Illidan does best, which is sit on a core, dive around it, and kills it off. Really cool to see how that last fight played out as well. The fact that, yes, beGenius has so much sustain, but unless they can shut that Illidan down, and they tried so very hard, they will lose. GG. Game 1 goes to Team Synergy.
They were so close to shutting him down to Kalaris. We saw that Ancestral Healing coming just on point there. It was almost life or death there. One more auto attack and Illidan's out of the fight. So nice clutch play there by the support sector. So nice job overall. But man, what a great day. And